fight could really be a major fight that a lot of people are looking to see. When did you know that?
When the people start talking, and obviously everybody around try to make this fight. I say, look, needs to be big.
This fight doesn't happen if you're never born, right? You made this fight happen. Why this fight?
Not me, it is who behind me.
I like Crawford, get right to it.
Why?
Because he's like the first time you went from regular TV, which you've been doing a long time, to 3D. He's different. Really, that's the simplest.
You know, I take this fight because you can see how big is this fight, no? The beginning when they say, hey, you thinking about fight Crawford, I say, never thinking about that. But you can realize how big is this fight, no? Mexican, always Mexican versus USA is big. And two of the best pound for pound. And I think this fight is huge and means a lot for me.
When did you realize, when did the moment hit you that this fight can really, really be big? This fight can really be a major fight that a lot of people are looking to see. When did you know that?
When the people start talking, and obviously everybody around try to make this fight. I say, look, needs to be big, right? Because Netflix, Riyadh season, everybody interested in this fight. So that's when I realized how big is this fight.
Crawford felt like initially you needed some convincing because you thought it was a lose-lose proposition, whereas you're fighting the smaller guy, and if you won, you wouldn't really get any credit for it. Was that what you were thinking?
Yeah, but if you think well, I've been in the...
From the start, everyone knew this fight was bigger than boxing. Fans compared it to Hagler versus Leonard, Duran versus Hearns, historic rivalries that shaped the sport. Now, it was Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford, two kings meeting in the same ring. Crawford's story made the fight even more exciting. He moved up 2 weight classes, adding muscle without losing his sharp speed.
My country, I'm my boss, you know? But really, if you look at as a business, this fight will not happen if we are not involved as Gia, Riyadh season, Saudi Arabia. This is truth. Because even with what the relationship with Netflix, and we are very happy about it, still this fight costs more and more.
Speaking of cost more and more, for everyone who watches it, everyone already has a Netflix account. So they're not paying anything extra for it.
Yeah.
You, however, are the guy who just paid hundreds of millions of dollars for a pay-per-view fight that you wanted to see. So people like to get their money's worth. What do you want to see from this fight?
First, not what I want to see, what all the people around the world, and you are fans of boxing, want to see. It's take too long, but thanks God, without the support behind me from my government, my leaders, the Crown Prince and the vision, and without the love of the fans, we will stop not complete. This is what push us. This kind of fight, special Canelo Crawford, I want to explain it to you exactly why it is important and the fight of the century. Canelo is the biggest name in boxing now, and Crawford undefeated and have the chance to be undisputed for the 3rd time. Maybe this is the last fight for Crawford. And for Canelo, it's mean a lot for his fan in North America and South America and all the world. He doesn't want to get beating from guy getting up.
His team pushed hard on strength training, diet, and sparring with bigger fighters. The goal was simple: be strong enough to stand with Canelo, but fast enough to land clean shots and get out of danger. Canelo, on the other side, trained like a champion who already ruled for years. His camp mixed classic work, heavy bag mitts and sparring, with creative drills like soccer training to sharpen his footwork.
I used Betamax, and then that was good. It was cool. Right. VHS, VCR, all that stuff. I still got them, actually. And all of a sudden, digital came around.
There you go.
He's digital, really. And I'm not knocking Canelo for all the people out there that, want to pull their arrows now and start slinging shots at me, hey, that's okay. That's fine. But I'm not knocking him. He's a good, solid guy. He's
Good,
tremendous.
solid guy. He's 63-2, Teddy, and has never been knocked out. And this guy that's
what's
fighting him
his
is
record?
moving up 63-2.
Wait, what's his record?
63-2.
By who's accounting?
What do you mean by who's accounting? What are you trying to say? That's
what
he
am I
said.
trying to say? There's a couple fights there that you might be able to argue there. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Sudden with Triple G. Just a little bit. A little bit. You know? I mean, you're insulting him a little bit. You know, like in a movie with De Niro.
I'm not insulting him. I'm pointing out the facts. But here's my point to you, Teddy. He's 63-2.
Lara, how about the Lara fight?
Hold on.
You want to go back further?
Okay. What about Madrimov with Crawford? I'm just saying.
No, he beat Madrimov. He didn't look the way we want him to look.
Okay.
Because stepping up for the first time to that weight class, he didn't look the way that we wanted to say, oh, my God.
Well, stay with me. Let me ask you this question.
And Madrimov was not getting the credit for the kind of fighter that he was.
But let me ask you a question, Teddy Atlas. He didn't look the way you wanted him to look, moving up from 147 to 154. Now he's going from 154 to 2 weight classes to 168 against a guy who's 11-0 at the 168-pound limit and is entering his 12th fight undefeated and has never been knocked out.
Yeah, VHS digital. Did you worry about that jump when you went from VHS to digital? No, you just said we're at digital now, and it looks good. It looks really good, and you look great. No, you do.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You look tremendous.
But I'm just saying, listen, I believe in Crawford too, and I believe that Crawford is one of the top 2 fighters on the planet. But he is moving up 2 weight classes, and when people look at him going up against Canelo, here's what they're saying. He's got to keep his distance. He's got to hit, stick, and move. He can't.
At 168 pounds, Canelo looked powerful and calm, like a man ready to defend his throne. Experts were split. Roy Jones Jr. said Crawford had 6 ways to win and could adapt to any style. Jeff Horn, who once lost to Crawford, thought Canelo might come out fast and try to crush Bud early. But if Crawford survived, his accuracy and timing could change the fight late.
I don't know, maybe 2 more.
2 more years.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to accomplish that you haven't yet
No,
accomplished?
I already accomplished everything.
So there's
and I
nothing
did
left.
everything in boxing. Yeah. So I'm fine.
When this is all over for you, maybe in 2 years from now, what do you want to be remembered for?
One of the greatest fighters in the boxing history. That's why I'm here. That's why I start boxing. So I'm doing good.
I think you've already accomplished that.
Yeah.
The interview, we went even deeper on it.
He did. Look, Canelo's achievements speak for themselves. You see, he's been around a long, long time, 20 years as a pro, and he's beat some of the best fighters out there for sure. I think that Paulie there is referring to him avoiding Benavidez, the fight that everyone's wanted to see and wanted to make. He's been picking and choosing his own opponents, and he has had some easy options. And he gets an opportunity to go in against Terence Crawford, or Terence Crawford gets the opportunity to go against him. Look, whatever way you want to look at it, I think that you cannot deny how good Canelo has been. He has adapted. He's had to adjust. He now, he stalks forward. He hunts his prey, but he single shots to the body, single shots to the head, and that's why I think timing for Terence Crawford here could be
Duke, me and Spence have got Terence Crawford. How do you think this fight is won and lost?
Yeah, I think this fight is won for Crawford by sticking to his boxing, which he does beautifully. From the outset, I thought Crawford would win this fight simply because
you're in our game.
He's a great boxer, right? He switches from left to right effortlessly. He's a good stayer. He's got that spite that you need as a champion. What he's done has been done before, albeit, many, many moons ago with Sugar Ray Leonard, when he moved up and boxed Donnie Lalonde from welterweight to super middleweight, but he stopped off in between that and boxed Marvellous Marvin Hagler. So that's probably a harder route even still, but I feel that it's a stone difference. It's not really that much, not when you look at the bigger picture. A stone in weight is a lot of weight, of course it is. And, sometimes you don't even want to give away a pound in weight. But the fact that he's putting on a stone of pure muscle.
Andre Ward said Canelo's biggest strength was his ring presence, his calm control and confidence, but Ward believed Crawford's willpower and intelligence would be the deciding factor. No one has broken Bud yet, Ward said. Still, others lean toward Canelo. Ryan Garcia warned that Crawford might land punches, but they wouldn't hurt a man with one of the toughest chins in the sport.
All I care about as the promoter of this event is that it's a good fight. Over 65,000 people are coming in for this fight live. who knows how many are going to tune in around the world on Netflix. But what I want is when it's over, everybody turns off the TV or walks out of the arena and goes, I'm so glad I came to this fight.
That was a war.
I mean, I could sit here for an hour and break down the fight, you know, both ways for both guys. But what I truly believe is because Crawford's moving up in weight and you know, this legacy thing is so important to him, he's going to come at Canelo. And you know how Canelo is a counterpuncher and hits hard, and I think it's going to be a war.
Now legendary sparring session with Boots Ennis and Saul Canelo Alvarez, all right? In looking at the footage we have, you know, they show their feet. They don't really show much, and that's good. Right? Whatever happens in sparring stays in sparring. You don't want too much revealed. But I think, you know, you can pull something from the footage. Like, post-sparring session, you could just see how friendly Saul Canelo Alvarez and Boots Ennis are.
Almost there.
Almost time. It's mutual respect. You can just see, you know, and it just feels like Boots gave Canelo some good work. I think if Boots didn't, I think Canelo wouldn't respect him as much. I think Canelo would be like, get out of here. I mean, they couldn't even leave the gym. They kept saying bye to each other over and over and over again like it was a bromance.
You got my piece. Who say he needs some rounds? Huh? Who? Yeah, he said he'll come back and get some work. Oh, yeah? You don't want... I see you tomorrow.
And more, if they are scared, they run faster. If they are scared, more faster.
Bro, you know what that is. You know what that is. It's like if somebody whipped your ass and like, all right, then, boy, what? What, wait.
Garcia's concern was that Canelo had lost some fire, fighting more carefully than before. If that intensity didn't return, Crawford could take advantage. The pressure was heavy on both sides. Crawford needed to prove he could beat bigger men at the highest level. Canelo had to show he was still hungry, still dangerous, still the king.
I think is best for each fighter, and I think, you know, if I was able to give my advice to Terrence, it would be, I think that he should box on the outside, or I think he should be all the way inside.
Wait, all the way inside? That would sound like, no, you don't want to be on the inside because, like, Canelo could land body shots.
Yeah, but Terrence is a great inside fighter. He's ridiculously strong. And I think the most dangerous place for Terrence to be would be in the mid-range, chilling this far from Canelo, at this distance, where Canelo is able to get a lot of leverage and be really explosive, as opposed to what I did to Trevor McCumbee, where I stepped all the way to the inside. And, you know, do you want to be this far away from a baseball bat, or do you want to be this far away from a baseball bat?
This here,
exactly.
They can't extend.
They can't gain the same momentum. And just fighting on the outside, sticking, moving, running around, moving around, using his legs for 12 rounds could be a lot. Where, as opposed to him being smart on the outside and moving, and then picking his times and getting all the way to the inside and going to work, and then going all the way back out, all the way back in, all the way back out. But I think chilling at the mid-range with Canelo could be dangerous.
He's adapted to the weight. It's his natural weight. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Crawford got to be real careful in the middle rounds.
And I've heard you say this before, look, it doesn't matter if you're sparring with heavyweights in sparring.
Yeah.
If you're sparring with 68-pounders, 75-pounders in sparring, when you get clocked with them 10 ounces with no headgear on, it's a different game, a different story. Drop down on that for us for a second. What is so different about it? Is it just a jolt? Is it a shock? What's the difference?
It's different just because it's just the pop. You know what I'm saying? You know when you're sparring heavier guys, it really, it means something, but it's 16-ounce gloves and it's a headgear. So it's not the same effect. But, you know what I'm saying? And Crawford and Canelo being the same size right now and the same height, people go, oh, well, it's even.
When fight night came, everything else faded. Predictions, training clips, interviews, they meant nothing once the first bell rang. What mattered was who had the sharper mind, the bigger heart, and the courage to push through the fire. This was not just another fight. This was a night boxing fans will talk about for generations.